When global leaders meet in Geneva to discuss plastic pollution, it feels distant from the daily lives of Kenyans. From, but for fishermen in Siaya and Kisumu, what is being negotiated could actually determine whether fishing on Lake Victoria has a future. Here is why. So the current situation on Kenya's lakes and rivers is one thing. Kenya's lakes and rivers are facing a growing pollution crisis. Lake Victoria, Lake Naivasha, and major rivers feeding them are increasingly clogged with plastic waste, bottles, sachets, wrappers, and abandoned fishing nets. This is actually happening despite Kenya's 2017 ban on single-use plastic carrier bags. The ban worked, but only partly. This is actually because of the data that is actually showing before the 2017 ban, plastic carrier bags made up to 60% of shoreline waste. Today, the figure has actually drastically dropped to 15%, but there is more that needs to be done. That is a clear policy success. But the problem did not actually disappear. It shifted. Plastic bottles and sachets, which were not banned, have surged and accounts for more than 70% of plastic pollution. The current audit shows that 40% of plastic bottles, 30% of sachets and food wrappers, 20% of discarded fishing nets and nylon lines, and 10% household packaging clogging the lakes. So in short, the lake is now being choked by a new generation of plastics, not just plastic carrier bags that were banned. This is where Geneva comes in. In Swaziland, the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, led by the newly elected chair, Julio Cordano, working on a legally binding global treaty to end plastic. Unlike the past agreements, this treaty, one, could regulate plastic bottles and sachets. Number two, hold manufacturers responsible for the waste they produce. Number three, reduce plastics entering rivers and lakes, not just the streets. Also, make plastic control a legal obligation, not a voluntary promise. If adopted, countries like Kenya could be required to go beyond plastic bags ban. For the treaties to make a real difference on Lake Victoria, Kenya must act on three fronts. Number one, extend plastic regulations to cover bottles, sachets, and packaging. The biggest lake pollutants today, we're talking about 70%. Then, secondly, shift responsibility from consumers alone to companies. Pay for the waste they generate. Thirdly, protect the lakes and rivers directly by controlling the waste along the rivers, markets, and urban centers. That is why the Geneva Plastic Treaty should matter to a fisherman in Siaya County, Kisumu, Migori, and Oyugi, and other places. Because the future of fishing in Lake Victoria may depend not just on water, but on decisions that are made thousands of kilometers away in Geneva. This is Violet Alma.